I think what really boosted our new patient number in the beginning was doing the emergency campaign. I was pretty hesitant too because I was like, yeah, is this gonna drag wrong type of patients that we didn't want to see? But it worked with us.
I know right now you guys are projected to hit above 50 new patients, which is more than double what you had last year at the same time. Because it's one thing to get the phone to ring and it's another thing to get them to schedule, which you've done a really good job of. But then you got to get people buying treatment. Welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, Gary Bird. I'm the owner of SMC National, where we help offices just like yours level the playing field against the big guys out there so you can grow the way that you want. And today I have a special guest, Dr. Kim, one of our clients. The name of her practice is Smiles for Miles. What an original name. It's a really cool name. She works right outside of Chicago, and she has more than doubled her new patients over the last year, seeing almost a 300-to-1 ROI. And she has grown her production by almost 40% during that time, closing in on $200,000 of adjusted production. She's going to share what campaign she ran to do that, as well as how she boosted internal referrals to help her practice really grow. This is a really, really good episode. You're going to get a lot out of it. And if you want to grow, double your new patients, this is an episode that you must watch. Stay tuned. All right, we are live with Dr. Kim. And today I'm excited because she is an owner doctor at a practice in Illinois that's so far doubled their new patients, which is awesome. Like that's always a lot of doctors' goals is to double new patients, but also seen a 40% adjusted production increase, as well as almost a 300% ROI from the marketing. So everything's working, and it's so awesome when things are working. So usually when clients are doing really good, we ask them to come on and share what they're doing and how they're doing it. So I would love to first start. Dr. Kim, could you just tell me a little bit about your marketing journey? I know we've worked with each other for just over a year now, but could you just tell me like what you were doing before, what was working, what wasn't, and kind of about the transition? We got a goal to get to 10,000 subscribers, and 85% of you are not subscribed to the channel yet. So make it happen. Subscribe. Tell them.
Subscribe.
Good job. Make it happen.
So I own the office with my husband too. So we're both practicing owners in the office. So we tried really hard, first of all, to do like internal growth, like the culture change with the staff, because we're fairly younger dentists compared to especially the previous ownership. So all of the staff have been used to like how things used to be for many decades, including the softwares. And my husband and I, what we first did was we're younger people. I know there's gonna be some people who are gonna be, very hesitant about the quick changes, especially. So we kind of took that on at a slower pace. Like we didn't change the name right away. We gained the trust with our staff, but also for the loyal patients because they kept asking us where's the previous owner, how things go. But after I think the entire team knew what our goals were, what our core values, the mission statement that we still kept from the owner doctor, they started to trust our process of change, like introducing a new marketing company like the SMC. Because before then, the marketing company that worked with the office, they were very basic, just like Google SEO, nothing really extravagant. But with the SMC and then the call, like the graphs, things like that, when we shared the data with the team, they knew that they had to change too. So we worked pretty hard for the first couple, at least 6 months to work on that. And then afterwards, I think what really boosted our new patient number in the beginning was doing the emergency campaign. And I believe our SMC rep, Taylor, and there was another person before too, they helped us to come up with that type of emergency campaign, which is like $49 exam and x-ray. It was very easy for patients, especially without insurance or with HMO, Medicare, that insurances that we don't take, to be able to let them know, especially on the phone, just keeping it brief. Like, you got pain, we have this emergency campaign, right? Even if they didn't see that on our website, we still made them aware that, we have this campaign going on, which we can take a look.
It doesn't cost the patient a lot to figure out what's going on. Yeah. And so that's worked well because a lot of doctors are negative against those kind of campaigns. And I understand because if you do them wrong and you don't do it right, it can really mess up your office. So tell me a little bit about that, like why that worked for you guys.
I was pretty hesitant too because I was like, yeah, this is this gonna like drag wrong type of patients that we didn't want to see, but it worked with us because we first of all had the physical capacity, like we had extra room, extra hands that they were like some of the front desk were cross trained. If we're short staffed in the back, they were willing to come back, gear up, set up the room, take X-ray for this patient. And then also I did a lot of effort with our front team for their phone conversion because they were going on and on about the insurance. I told them this is why I have this campaign, so you don't need to talk about these for more than a minute with the patient. That's waste of your time.
I always tell offices that the doctor's always like, all the patients want is insurance. And I always ask, what's the first question every dental office? Do you have insurance? Yes or no? It's like, if you get them in that mindset, then yeah, they're going to focus on it.
Right. And then I was very positive with my team. We were very confident with my team that as long as we can get the patients in, then they're going to love the experience that we can offer here. And then I also trained back really well to be able to give that type of 5-star experience for all the patients, no matter what they were coming in for. So as soon as they came in for the $49 exam, they signed up for our in-house membership plan if they didn't have the insurance, or they ended up using their insurance to continue to care with us. So I think just the effort with the front being very brief and then to the point of why they need to come in first. And then as soon as they enter the door, the moment they open the door, I told them this is gonna be the first impression that we cannot miss. We have to give them the 5-star patient experience. We have the full chart that everyone goes through for all the new patients. We give them a tour. We introduce each other. We show them all the rooms, the hygienist, the team, everyone, so that patients feel welcome, not just like another patient through the door type of thing. Even though we've been pretty busy, we're still trying to spend equal amount of time for all the patients that we could compared to how it was before and still now. And I think just the team being on board with what we want to achieve and then letting them know what we do is just for the greater cause, which is to provide quality care to the patient. I think that kind of stuck with everyone else's mind too.
That's awesome. Yeah. And I'm looking at your guys' website and I'm looking at all the pictures of you and the other doctors, and you guys do look so young. Like you guys look really, all of you look young, which is awesome. And so I love that you shared that it took some time to get everybody on the same page, get them to trust you, get the patients to trust you. But now it's starting to work. I know right now you guys are projected to hit above 50 new patients, which is more than double what you had last year at the same time. And it's, one of the harder months. But then also it's not just increasing the new patients, your production is going up as well. I know this month you're aiming for 200 of adjusted production. Looks like you're floating in that like 180 range. So tell me a little bit about how that journey went because it's one thing to get the phone to ring and it's another thing to get them to schedule, which you've done a really good job of. But then you got to get people buying treatment. Was that a bit of a process for you?
Right. Because especially with the team who's been with the same office for 20 years, they have the same verbiage over and over. And also, like you said, they were all so honed into what the insurance covers versus what their copay is, and then how the balance is ending up. We really told them like our office mission statement is to provide quality care that exceeds expectations. So I just try to focus on that statement throughout the whole thing, like a treatment planning discussion. I let them know even though this is gonna cost, and if that's the concern of a patient, that's fine. But we have to let them understand why this is important, and no one's going to take care of their teeth better than the patients. It's not going to be us. It's going to be the patients who are making that decision. And if it's like a big decision, we ask, like, if let's say if the patient is a husband and then the financial, like, decision making is more on the wife or any other house member, then we tell them at any time we're going to reserve 30 minutes of our time with our treatment plan discussion, like treatment plan coordinator. 30 minutes on the side, we put them in the private room And then we ask them, bring your family member with you.
Oh, so you're telling them up front that, hey, we're going to make sure that you fully understand what's going on.
Right. Especially for bigger cases like veneers or like all in 4, all-in-6 or implant or any like single implants too. If the patient is really concerned, we let them know we can always set aside a time just for you and your family member in a private room so that we can discuss about this in full detail. And also adopting another third-party financing company has been helped a lot too, not just like Care Credit, but we do offer other companies too. We've been using Cherry a lot, and yeah, patients have been loving Cherry a lot. We send them the like when they first make the phone call, some patients are unfortunate not to even have the $49 too. And then we send them the link for the cherry. They apply. If they get approved for how many hundreds of dollars, they can still, yeah, right away.
I've never heard anybody use it that way before. That's really smart. So you're basically just like, we'll help anybody. We just need to figure out how we're going to help you. Because you're in a suburb of Chicago, and I pulled some of the demographics. So there's some lower income, medium income in your area. Is that right?
Yes. So the one of the challenges that we've come across so far recently is the changes in the demographic in our neighboring area. So that's why I think adopting the cherry has been a lot of good experiences with not just for the patients, but for us too. When they go over the treatment plan, the treatment case acceptance rate has been a little bit higher because of that option too.
And so did you know as you went into this, because right now you're spending about $7,500 a month, budget fluctuates a little bit, but you kind of grew your budget. Did you kind of know going into owning this practice that you were going to have to market and you were going to have to do all these things from your past experience?
Yes, because when we closed the transition, when we were doing all the vendor transition from the previous owner to us, I realized that they were only spending like $2,000 for the marketing, and that included the website too. and and then when I did like the monthly meeting with the previous company too, he was just pulling up like the very basic data from Google business page where I could pull up too.
Which doesn't really tell you what's going on, right?
Right. And he didn't really give us any like type of strategy as to how we could improve like the emergency campaign because I honestly would have not never thought of those campaigns had it not for recommendations from Taylor and then your team.
A lot of people don't. So when you think through like people with money versus people without money and like middle class and bottom middle class, it's very interesting because when you move into like really high income neighborhoods, which I know like around Chicago, there's some like really, think of like Orland Park is like really, really high end. Well, a lot of people there have really healthy mouths. They don't need extractions and root canals and those kind of things as much. It's more cosmetic. But then when you move into like middle class or lower middle class, typically they haven't done as good of a job taking care of their teeth. They're just busier making ends meet. So there's actually a more bread and butter dentistry to be done on that segment.
So that emergency campaign really helped because my husband and I, and then my associate, who is my brother too, we're all for same day treatment. And us being Asians, we just have to work fast. So we're like, okay, I think we have that strong, like more like stronger points that the other offices could offer. So we're gonna really hone into this campaign. Patients come in, they're in pain. We can get the tooth out. We can start the root canal, at least do papotomy, get them to come back for the full exam, and then have them stay for a long-term patient. And then their family members too.
That's great. Yeah, I see your patient referrals have been growing and growing and growing, which is huge. This last month, you had 26 patient referrals. That's your total patients that you had a year ago. So that's awesome. Like your patient referrals have grown and then your digital marketing has grown as well. So now, okay, so you got your team on board, you bought the practice, you had to win their trust, win the patients over, you figured out how to get your team to answer the phones better, you figured out how you ran some different campaigns to help different kinds of patients, and then now you've gotten your team to get yeses in the chair for the patients to buy the treatment. Everything's kind of working. What's your plan for the future? Like, where do you see your practice going?
So that's always a tough question. And I always talk about this with my husband all the time. So where do you see ourselves in 10 years? Like, where are we going to be? Well, after we took over, we expanded the office, like physically, we added 2 more chairs. So right now our like short-term goal, which is like in 2 to 3 years, is to be able to utilize all of the 8 rooms that we have right now. Because we always have this room that's, not we don't have any patients in that term. That's, to me, that's like, loss of time, loss of the rent, all the equipment. So
Because those are fixed costs. They're not like marketing's not a fixed cost. You can keep increasing marketing, but your rent's a fixed cost, whether you see 1 billion patients or 1 patient.
right. So our short-term goal is to be able to utilize all 8 chairs and then be able to offer all the like general dentistry that we're offering. Like my husband is a prosthodontist, but he does all the other general dentistry stuff too. So we have that type of mentality where I'm only gonna stick with just like high end procedures. Like we're okay doing, like he's okay doing some root canals if he has to. So those are the type of mentality that we have, both of us, and we want the office to be able to provide the same level too. Like you mentioned, we're not really at the high income area, so not a lot of people would afford veneers, all on fours, nothing like that. We're okay doing complete dentures. We're okay doing just root canals, just single tooth treatment, as long as we have the patients leave with happy smile. And then our like long term goal will be, I'm not sure if we are open to have, a couple more offices, but that would have to be coincide with our personal life too. Like, if we have a baby, are we gonna think about the second one? Are we gonna be able to put all the efforts into both of our personal and then business lives too? But so far, my husband and I have been enjoying this ownership journey. Long as, I mean, even though there's a lot of stress, a lot of things that we have to do, but like mentally, both of us are more at ease than working as an associates.
Good. Okay. So then for those out there, because I know there's a lot of doctors out there that battle with, should I be an associate? Should I be a doctor? Should we own? Should it? And there's pros and cons to both, right? You pointed out one, like being an owner, there's a lot more stress, right? And it's stressful being an associate too in different ways. But what would be your piece of advice to those out there that are thinking about buying a practice? If you could go back and do it over again, what are some things that you might do a little bit differently, or just would warn other people to think through before moving forward?
Like I always tell my team, this is my first child. And it really was, because even though it was a very established practice in the neighborhood, like the office has been there for like many decades, but I still think we kind of did it from the scratch too, because we had that. Even though all of the team stayed too, but like their mentality, their culture, everything kind of shifted in a positive way that we wanted to be. So it's like, shaping a child, almost growing up a child into the type of culture that I grew up with, and then share that vision too. We can't really offer like any luxurious like team trip right now or anything like that, but they are all very appreciative. They are all very thankful that this office is growing. Like they have that, most of them have ownership mentality where if the office grows, then they know that they're all gonna grow too. So when I hire like a new team member, I always want to stress that even though the economy or the generation gap is there, we still want a team member who really wants a long-term career growth here, so that way I can help them in return if they can help the office to grow more too. But yeah, but anyone out there, there's gonna be some people who are more fit to just staying as an associate, and I don't mind, if they stay like that. But I think it just has to be a right type of thought process and the mentality.
Great. That's great. So anything else that you think we should cover? Anything else that people should know about? We went over a lot, so you did a really good job. Is there anything that we didn't touch on that you were like, you know what, this played a huge part in my growth?
Oh, the internal referral. So not every summer, because we've only been doing it 2 years, but annually we've been doing summer raffle, like in referral raffle. Like we run it for throughout the summer, like May through July or August, the 3 months. They can enter to the like one entry gets you to enter to win like some type of not very big, but like this year we did like the Southwest gift card. So like
Like the airline Southwest?
right, yeah, because yeah, in this neighborhood, a lot of people like Southwest. They like to fly from Midway than O'Hare. So so then, like, if we tell patient, oh, if you for like 5 different friends or your family and they mention your name, you get to be entered in 5 different entries. What helped is we print out like the flyers throughout the office. We posted them in each room. And then our greeter, she every time a patient walks in, she's very good at telling what's going on with the office, like those referral campaign. Or right now we have like the Google review campaigns. So every time when someone enters, my greeter, she doesn't let anyone go by without being informed of what's going on in our office. So that type of just involving the patient into what we do, like every season or every month, has helped with our referrals. Same thing for like Halloween, we have pumpkin contest.
So anything to get people to help you refer. Like people are very big on referring and participating in your growth. That's huge. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Dr. Kim. You did a great job, and I appreciate you sharing your journey. I know you don't I really value when people are willing just to give back. You don't get anything out of this today of just sharing your journey, but it does help other doctors, and it does help people who are thinking about either opening a practice, starting a practice, buying a practice, or they're just struggling to grow the practice that they have. People get stuck, and it's very frustrating. So thank you so much for coming on and sharing your journey.
Well, I was honored. I learned a lot from Facebook too, from your posts. Yeah. Everywhere. So yeah, it feels honored when Taylor asks me. I'm like, yeah, I'll be very honored to be on your podcast. So
Thank you so much. That means a lot. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
thank you.
Hey, thanks so much for listening to the whole podcast. You're truly one of our greatest fans, and we really appreciate you. And we want to give you a $3,000 marketing credit to be used to grow your office. We have the link right down below. We'll meet really quickly. It takes about 15 minutes, and we'll tell you how you can save $3,000 on growing your office. And if you're an existing client, let us know, because this is for new clients, but we have some giveaways for existing clients as well. And it's great. So you'll love it. Thank you so much for listening. We really, really appreciate you.